When was the last time a small gesture from your spouse made your heart skip a beat? Welcome to Couples Journey Blog Series podcast. For this week, we'll be having the series Simple But Goes a Long Way. I'm Andrew. Today, Ray and Annie share a tender reflection on the small acts that sustain marriage and a biblical reminder that only God can soften our hearts and restore affectionate connection. Here's part one.
Whether you've been married for quite a while or are in the very early stages, you will certainly think of the small gestures or actions your spouse does that quickly communicate love and reassurance of partnership. Whether it's a quick hug, a kiss, or gently holding hands, these small gestures steal a few moments of our attention from our usual life routine. For those still in the early stages of marriage, you might be enjoying these small gestures today. Yet, for those who've been married for a while, we may no longer appreciate these gestures as we once did. They may still exist, but perhaps with much less frequency, and their impact might not feel as significant as before. Reflecting on this, there may still be a part of our hearts that misses those small gestures and their reminders of love and companionship. The saddest situation is finding ourselves numb to any feelings or memories at all.
This week, we're not aiming to identify our spouse's shortcomings, but rather to focus on understanding that could lead to genuine realization. Instead, we'll start nurturing those small gestures that help sustain our marital relationship. Let's begin by remembering those gestures and listing them. Create three columns. In the first column, list the small gestures that you and your spouse do that communicate love and companionship. It's not very often that we take the time to remember or appreciate these gestures. So as we make our list, let it also be a moment of gratitude for our spouse. Now, we'll take a path of realization. This exercise is not about being critical, but rather about understanding ourselves, our spouses, and the current season of our marriages. In the second column, list the reasons that negatively affect those beautiful small gestures. Identify what typically interferes with our communication of love and companionship through these actions. Finally, in the third column, write down things you can do to prevent losing those small acts of love and companionship. This exercise may be a bit challenging when the marriage is facing difficulties. Yet sometimes, a simple exercise like this not only provides a much needed break, but can also shine a light on aspects we often neglect or take for granted.
It takes a lot of humility to be honest and genuinely check our hearts and minds in matters like this. However, there are instances in life that require us to assess the bad or unpleasant moments to better understand ourselves and develop healthy self-awareness. Acknowledging that we may need to make radical changes in ourselves and our marriage is crucial. It's not natural for us humans to be humble and willingly assess our shortcomings. When circumstances challenge us, we quickly defend and rationalize our actions. It's rare and difficult for us to pause, practice healthy self-awareness, and intentionally strive for understanding. If we find ourselves struggling with this and not taking action, we risk developing thick calluses that lead to a heart of stone, one that no longer appreciates small gestures of love. In that case, we must take a serious pause and remind ourselves of the need for God to work on our hearts and deliver us from this callousness, as only He can genuinely change our hearts. Deuteronomy 30, verse 6 says, "Moreover, the Lord your God will circumcise your heart and the heart of your descendants, to love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, so that you may live." Let's keep journeying with Christ.
Before we close, we want to invite you to engage with us and support the Couples Journey Blog Series podcasts by following this channel, leaving comments, and sharing episodes with your family and friends. You're helping us in our mission to transform marriages today. Your support encourages more couples to seek God's guidance and grow stronger together. Learn more about this movement on thecouplesjourney.org. Thank you for being part of this journey. Together, we can make a difference. Here's the final part of today's episode.
Thanks for listening. I'm Andrew, and I hope Ray and Annie's reflection encouraged you to notice and protect those small gestures in your marriage. Try the 3-column exercise, pray for God to work on your heart, and be humble in the process. Stay tuned tomorrow for part 2 as we continue the Simple But Goes a Long Way series.
Are you longing for a deeper, more vibrant marriage rooted in faith? Do you dream of transforming your relationship, not just for today, but for a lifetime? Then you need to discover the Couples Journey series, Restore, Relearn, Rejoice by Rey and Annie Abarca. This powerful 3-book collection begins with an inspiring, real-life memoir of struggles and triumphs, showing God's incredible power to transform lives and marriages. From there, you'll engage with the interactive workbook, filled with practical exercises and the unique Drash method to apply biblical wisdom to your everyday relationship. And finally, solidify your spiritual foundation with a 52-week devotional, designed to cultivate consistent, Christ-centered conversations throughout your year. It's a complete journey, from testimony to application, to a year-long habit of spiritual growth. Ready to start your journey? Find the Couples Journey series now on Amazon, or visit our website for more information at www.couplesjourney.org. Strengthen your bond, deepen your faith, and rejoice in God's design for your love and marriage.